I'm super excited to bring on my next guest. What's up, Holly and Nawar?
Hey,
guys.
well, I hope we break the live stream.
I hope you do
there's
too.
more than 10K viewers out there. It's nice to be here.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm just to give everyone kind of like a super quick intro to you guys. Holly and Nawar are the co-founders of Bytez, which is a unified platform for AI models and papers. If that is still, is that an accurate elevator pitch for Bytez?
It's perfect. It's
great.
Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, great. I was just gonna say, when we were putting this together, y'all were a couple of the first people that jumped to mind, given kind of your mission around like democratizing open source AI. So really excited to kick it over to you guys to share a little demo with us today. I will get out of the way and put your screen in.
Perfect. Okay, I was gonna ask, are you gonna switch my screen in? Perfect. Okay, excellent. Hello, everyone. Can't see you, but glad to be here. Holly and Nawar, founders of Bytez. We do have a deck and a couple demos to run through, and we've, titled this presentation very, very cheekily, run anything, build anything. We're starting with a question. So what if building with AI was as easy as writing JavaScript? Well, as Becca mentioned, we're trying to build a platform that makes every model and paper interactive, programmable, and production ready. And this is really in service of collapsing that gap between AI research and usable infrastructure. So who are we? As we mentioned, Holly and Nawar. You can read a little bit of our TLDR CV there, but we've scaled and sold AI and robotics companies. I was on the founding team of Sanctuary AI. If you follow the humanoid space, Nawar is a hacker and a heretic and an incredible architect. And now we're focused on a grand mission of building super intelligence tools that actually work. And what do we mean by that? How do we design such a system? Well, as many viewers know, most models and LLMs are generalists or task specific. So they can write poems or generate some text or summarize history or parse PDFs, but they don't really understand AI itself. And so at Bytez, we're building something different. We're trying to build a system specialized in AI. So AI specialized in AI. And that means a system that has knowledge of every single breakthrough AI research paper, has awareness of every model, all of the data sets, and the methods and the SOTA research coming out of the field, to then make that research usable in industry to solve real human problems. And so when we're trying to design such a system, and forgive this very naive architectural diagram, but there are certain components in the system. You need, obviously, a system that has read every research paper, as I mentioned, can run any model, can factually answer questions in research, and can actually build any complex workflow, chaining together models like Legos to really unlock anything you want, hopefully applied to something, to solve some kind of problem. And so, as I mentioned, we're not just building a chatbot or, a wrapper around something. It's a real system grounded in a knowledge graph. It's a runtime and a reasoning engine, all in one kind of system. And so, we're really excited because what we built and what we're going to show you is, a platform that actually turns static research into workable code and pipelines that you can deploy. And it's kind of if you're thinking about future interfaces, it's like a unified or a next-gen surface where you can search for papers and models, execute models, and chain together models to build anything you want. And of course, bringing it back to the AI specialized in AI, it's a system, with all intelligence wrapped in it, specialized in AI. So bringing us back to the platform, Bytez itself is composed of 3 primitives: papers, models, and agent. And now I'm going to talk about the papers section. So as part of this core kind of foundational tech layer, as part of our platform, we've actually built the largest retrieval system in the world for AI research. And it's currently embedded in NeurIPS and powers CVPR. So if you've ever attended NeurIPS or CVPR, you're probably already a Bytez user without realizing it. And at the heart of this, basically platform is a massive knowledge graph. So we've actually vectorized over 440,000 AI research papers and knowledge and models to enable you to ask questions like, hey, what papers are trending in this particular task? Or, what's the difference between, this method and that method? So, this actually enables you to query research, to search for anything, and to understand the diff between, what's breakthrough today and hopefully what's breakthrough tomorrow. And fundamentally, because we're making everything interactive and more accessible, this actually makes the experience of reading and consuming research interactive and composable and deployable. So now I'm going to share my screen and kind of show you this in action. So this is the research platform we built at Bytez. So you can kind of see there's an agent on the left and kind of an interactive paper that I've been indexing into through the chat on the right. And one of the interesting things that I've asked is, very basic question, what's the diff between GAN models and diffusion models? And it actually retrieves a response, but grounded in real research. So you can see the citations here. I can actually open up this paper if I want. Oh, maybe it's not working here. Let me just try this. Or use the chat to index into a research paper to ask really, complex questions. Yes, I am. And so you can see, the chain of thought is kind of exposed in the front end. And then it gives me, a high level TLDR of what this thing is about. And all of course, these prompt chips are custom, composable, customizable. But the point is really to, allow you to index into anything very easily through an agent that we built. Okay, now going back to the presentation, if I can, we'll talk about the next thing, which is models. So the way that we have made models more accessible is through a Modal API. And so today I'm perhaps really excited actually to share a little bit about that. But it's actually the largest serverless model API on the internet. So, that means one API key gives you access to 42,000 open source models across 33 machine learning tasks. So again, not only making AI research papers, interactive and accessible, but also the outputs of research, which are models, instantly deployable and production ready. So this enables you, of course, to plug and play models like Legos into complex agentic workflows. It's also no ops, so you don't need to worry about, downloading, running, spinning up a model in a collab and installing dependencies or environments. Like, you don't need to worry about all of that. And of course, this is because we'd like, to make building with open source AI as easy as, building with proprietary models or any closed source, model. And what we've also seen from users using our API is they've actually cut their cloud costs by up to 12x because of all of the infrastructure optimization we have done on the back end. And now we're going to demo this in action, and I will hand it over to Nawar. Oh, Nawar, you're muted.
Thank you. So I'm going to try to figure out how to share my screen here. It's my first time on this particular platform. Okay, cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll share screen 2 on my computer. And I hope if there are developers out there, they dig what I'm about to show. So I think you guys can see my screen. And so one thing I want to bring up is that Holly was just mentioning a few things about this API. One key gives you access to 42,000 models. You can integrate open and closed source models in seconds and not have to maintain that. Because if you're like me, you've probably used Gemini, OpenAI, Claude, and other models, even open source models. And open source models and closed source models all have different protocols. One thing we've done is we've standardized all the protocols between different models. So the same input can be used to run any kind of model. So let me sort of demonstrate that right here. And also forgive me, I'm a little sick right now. So if my voice sounds like RFK, that's the reason. Yeah, so let me show you a quick demo. So I'm going to go over integrating models. As you guys know, using ChatGPT and Gemini are usually two different, let's just say, interfaces. I'm just going to pass in this interface here. Hello, what's the capital of England? And we could see immediately we get a response back from GPT 4.5, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and DeepSeek. And one interesting thing to know, and this is DeepSeek talking because DeepSeek's a little, it's a reasoning model and it's a little verbose, but it works. And DeepSeek here is an open source model. And so behind the scenes, what we've done to make it really easy to run both open and closed source models is we've put open source models on auto scaling clusters. So it's as easy to use any open source model as closed source models, because that's one thing people love about closed source models. They're just easy to use. There's no drama with maintaining and all that stuff. So with this API, open source models are as easy to use as closed source models. And as you can see, we just use DeepSeek instantly. And this is true for not just, let's say, DeepSeek and chat models, but basically across 42,000 different models across tasks, both from image generation models to, some of these things that you're probably all familiar with if you're a Hugging Face user. So so that's me just quickly demonstrating this point right here, which is integrating models in seconds across tasks. And then really the way we save money on a cloud bill, really quickly, just to mention that, is we've done a whole bunch of low-level engineering to make these models be optimized on the right instances. And so if you take a look at our serverless costs versus, let's say, regular serverless, say things that you're familiar with, like AWS Lambda, Google Cloud Functions, etc. You could, as we all know, models require GPUs, but let's just say you took a Google Cloud Function that had 16 gigabytes of RAM and you wanted to run a model on it. Well, first of all, it doesn't have a GPU on it. But there's a certain cost per second of using that sort of serverless function. You can compare our sort of serverless costs versus all the traditional Azure, AWS, GCP, and you'll find that we'll actually be cheaper than all the other CPU-only based, let's say, providers, plus we throw in a GPU. So that makes it really affordable to use open source models at scale across all sorts of different modalities. And that's how we're helping our users save a ton of money. So Holly, I'll just pass it back to you.
Let me just share this again here. Cool. All right. Cool. And so, so I know we're almost at time here, and 15 minutes surely goes by quickly when you're presenting to 10,000 people. But yeah, effectively what we're trying to do at Bytez is make using, building with breakthrough AI research really easy, and helping developers and researchers keep up with the field. And so, one of our goals here is obviously building a unified platform, making research papers and models interactive and easy to use. And of course, wrapping this together in an agent that is grounded in real research can help you choose the right model and very soon actually execute models as well to build custom pipelines. We do have 42,000 serverless models available today. One of our goals is to grow this model universe to be over 10,000 or 100,000 rather. So anything you want, instantly accessible in whatever, SDK you like to build in. But that's a little bit about kind of our core mission. And, we thought ending on an invitation would be great as well. So if, experimenting with our API is interesting to you, or even getting access to the agent API is interesting to you, so that that chat UI I was interfacing with before, we are actually running a user access program. So you want to give us feedback, we'll give you free inference to, so you can deploy and build with anything you want. And then also, access to kind of new experimental features that we are very soon releasing. So partner with us, send us an email, hop in our Discord, and we'd love to see what you guys can build. So cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for joining. And you get the crowning achievement of being people speaking live when we crossed 10K.
Oh my God. Well,
let's go.
Amazing.
Let's over the line.
We got over 10K. Perfect.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. And Becca, I know we were short on time, but so Holly sort of cut it short. But actually, we had a very special thing that if we had time, we were going to show, which is our agent having not just one brain, but 42,000 brains. So one model that can run 42,000 open and closed source models on demand. So that we think it's the first of its kind. So we were going to show that, but you only have so many.
We tried to show
that was
three
sort of the
demos.
magic. That was the magic sauce at the very end. But,
3 demos.
It's totally.
3 demos.
No, I love the ambition. Well, we'll definitely do more. Matt and I are going to be doing more live streams like this, so we'll have you guys back to do a full thing with. You can do as many demos as you want. So.
Yeah, we should actually maybe have an hour so we can play around with the agent. And I'm not like switching a million screens, of course, on live while I'm live streaming.
This is just a teaser.
It's a teaser. It's a teaser. Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys so much.